Hello, everybody. Welcome to the post-game press conference on Bandits.tv. The final score tonight in 7 innings, 7-4. Auckland defeating Brisbane. We'll start off with the winning team, the Tuatara, and manager Steve Mintz. With the hour-and-a-half delay to start this game, you knew that it was going to be tough to play all 9 innings. How did the accelerated schedule, if you will, play into your decision-making tonight?
We just went with how the game went. Obviously, we had Koenig on the mound, but tonight definitely not his best work. It was probably a struggle. He'd probably agree with me the whole time. And then the Bandits, they were able to get to him there in that one inning. Couldn't make some pitches and get down when he got ahead in the count. But then once you keep looking at the clock and you see what's going on, and then especially when they took the lead that inning, so when we came up to bat that inning, figuring it was going to be the last inning, we were going to play for 1 run somehow or another to try to tie it. But then we got fortunate enough, and Kim ran into that ball, got us the lead, and then we just went from there.
Koenig was pretty sharp through 4 innings, only a couple singles and no runs allowed, but then in the 5th inning, he ran into trouble and was ultimately unable to get through 5. Did you see a change in his approach from the 4th inning onwards?
Just for me, the whole game, it was ball 1 a bunch tonight, and the starts that he's had so far, it hasn't been that. And then even that inning, to give the Bandits credit, we had 2 outs, nobody on, and they did all that damage with 2 outs, nobody on. We just couldn't finish hitters, made some poor pitches in some spots, and it just caught up with him. I think the whole night, not being sharp the whole night, and then them getting to see more pitches, then they kind of honed in on what he was trying to do.
Pretty demoralizing 5th and 6th inning for you guys. You give up the lead, and then the Bandits take their lead for the first time in the bottom of the 6th. How do you, as the manager, rally your team and get them back on the offensive for the top of the 7th?
We just keep telling them every time we score a run, the next inning we want to score another one. And I'm sure that's the way teams are as they're going out. But you've got to fight. This league, nobody's giving you anything in this league. I can promise you that. I don't care who you're playing, where you're at. And then coming here, this is a tough place to win, and we understand that, and the guys know it, and so we just keep fighting, trying to ground out those at bats and see what happens.
Next question is for Ever Bueno, who picked up the save for the Tuatara tonight. Ever, you issued walks to the first 2 batters you faced and pretty quickly put yourself behind the 8 ball. What adjustments did you make to get back in the zone?
I just kind of watched my breathing for a little bit and trusted Sebastian behind the plate, and whatever he put down, I was throwing it with full confidence.
What was the message from your manager during that mound visit?
The same thing I just said, just keep breathing, slow the game down, and lift the leg and throw it.
This is your first appearance in the series, but you were watching last night when you saw all those home runs leave this yard, facing 3 batters, the heart of the order, with the tying run at the plate. What were you trying to do?
I was trying to stay low in the zone and make them get themselves out, and I got the save on them.
How are you enjoying the Australian Baseball League so far?
I love it. I love traveling, and Australia is awesome.
All right, we'll move on to the Bandits, who came through late but were unable to finish the job. David Nielsen, what was your explanation for that play at the plate and the ruling that was made as Tim Colwell tried to avoid the tag at home?
Well, I obviously saw it differently than home plate umpire, and really
Was he on the wrong side of the line? Was he in the wrong position? Was it the busted post?
No, you're allowed 3 feet either side of the line for the runner, and he felt that Timmy went outside that 3 feet, and I saw it differently. It's really straightforward.
What went into the decision to have Liam Taylor bunt and bring home eventually that go-ahead run?
Well, Liam's a good athlete. He's a good athlete, moves very well in the outfield, good arm, and he does a lot of things very well, and one of them is bunt. And in that situation, it's a tough at-bat for him, and Steve's had to move guys around different positions, and even though Holmes plays a bit of infield, with that wet infield, and I knew Liam could get that ball down. So, really nothing to lose there. It was a good play and put pressure on the defense, so it came through.
Was that plan hatched all along, or did it materialize when the Tuatara had their mound visit just before the at-bat?
No, it probably happened pretty quickly. Obviously, it depends who's hitting and a lot of different variables around it. It was just a perfect situation for Liam, so it happened pretty quickly.
What did you see out of Searle tonight? I know that he was coming in earlier in the game, but as it turned out, it was the final inning.
Yeah, it was a tough situation for him. It was kind of a no-win situation for him. Coming in with guys on base, facing the heart of their lineup, which he had to go through the night before. Very difficult situation, and in that situation, obviously Tim's struggled. Walk guys, we spoke about last night. Walking guys in this park is pretty tough, and in that situation, it's pretty tough. So, we wanted to stop the running game a little bit, but also, throw our best guy out there. So it didn't work, but that was just the situation we were in.
Move on to the Bandits' Tim Caldwell, who went 3 for 3 tonight. Tim, you've been racking up the multi-hit games. I know you've hit the ball hard for pretty much the entire season. Finally seeing some hits drop. What has your approach been so far in the season?
Yeah, just kind of tried to keep working at it. I know sometimes that's the way baseball goes. A lot of times those things even out. So just try to kind of stay with my approach, keep it simple, and just try to help the team win any way I can.
You swiped a bag in the second inning. You're known for your speed. This is a ballpark that is not necessarily conducive to small ball, but what do you hope to contribute to this team going forward?
Yeah, I just try to do what I can to try to put myself in a position where we can score runs. So the ballpark played a little bit differently tonight. It wasn't quite gusting out like it sometimes has. So I got to just try to do whatever I can to be in position to help us.
Tell me what you saw as you tried to score from first on that squeeze bunt. You were called out. I can see your uniform's dirty. I know that you tried your hardest to reach for that plate and avoid the tag.
Yeah, I guess I would probably be in the camp that saw it a little differently as well. But I mean, at the end of the day, kind of it's not what I think that matters. So I guess that's just the way it goes.
Do you feel you missed the tag and stayed in the baseline?
I felt so, yeah. But
Well, he missed the tag. That wasn't in question.
It was a baseline play.
It was a baseline play, so going out there looking at the markings of where he landed sort of made me feel even better about it.
Noted. I'll open up the floor to other
Like it
questions.
made you feel better when you
I think
look
it does.
It didn't make him feel better.
My name is Paul Gonzales. Got a question for David Nielsen tomorrow. Obviously, with the change in the split, what does your rotation look like tomorrow? You've got 2 veteran guys. Does that change your mindset, or do you already have your set plan?
No, we have a set plan. We are Travis Blackley will go the first game and follow him with Tim Atherton. So we feel really good, both our starters. Obviously, bullpen's a little bit stretched after these first 2 games, and I think that's just part of the ABL. When you get to that last game 3 and game 4 of the series, it comes down to just wanting it and just giving it all you have. So we have the luxury of 2 quality starters, as does Steve tomorrow. So we'll see where that goes.
And Steve, same question to you. Any changes with how you approach the game tomorrow with your starters? I know you've used a few different arms out of the bullpen. I don't know if you have restrictions on, but will that change how you approach tomorrow's starters? Will they try to go as deep as they can for you?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, just like Dingo said, I mean, we want to get as many innings out of our starters as we can. We feel like we got chances to win, and we're going to throw Cole Mentor against Blackley, and then Jimmy Boyce will start the second game. So, like he said, starting pitching's king. If they can get you deep in the game, you can get leads. Even if your bullpens are a little bit short, you feel a whole lot better going into the 7th, 8th, 9th innings if you have a lead.
That's it for me. Thank you, guys.
To Tara, just thank you from the beginning of the season. That wasn't the best start, but you hit your strides against Canberra and a good win tonight against Brisbane Bandits. Do you feel like you're really coming into your own at this point of the competition?
We're trying. It's no secret. The beginning of the season for us was hard. It was for everybody involved, and but to watch the guys, and we've had to put our in first series, a ton of distraction. I mean, we were 4 days out of Ryan passing away, but I think each step that we've taken, each game that we've played, we've grown a whole lot closer. I can promise you that. And then just to watch the guys as they move kind of forward with that, not past it. I don't think it's something we'll ever move past. But the guys and the confidence that we seen last week in Canberra, it was just good to see our guys smile and having a good time from what we had been through. And we'll just keep fighting. And like I said earlier, I mean, this ABL, it's a tough go. Yeah. It's a tough go, and we're just going to continue trying to get better in the areas we need to get better, and hopefully it'll put like the good baseball we seen out there tonight. That's what we want in the ABL is good baseball.
Dave, obviously with past success, it seems like the teams are coming after the Bandits this season so far, and I mean Tuatara's just tonight's one of those teams. Obviously, how are you feeling at this point in time through the season?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. We had a rough start for a different reason. Started 0-4, so I think we've been playing really well. Still scuffling through it. A lot of guys, I still think a little bit fatigued from the Premier 12 that whole trip. Not just our players, but around the league. A lot of the guys that are on that trip are scuffling a little bit. And I think we're doing a good job. Obviously, we've won a lot of games at home, and hopefully we can start a new streak tomorrow.
Do you think the delay tonight? Obviously, the Tuatara had won the game, but you felt it with after 7 innings. A couple more. It looked like you were sort of starting to get that edge.
No, not at all. I think you just play to the elements. It's the same for both teams, and if a little rain delay if that affects your team, you're not going to have much success anyway. So, they beat us fair and square. There's nothing to talk about.
And your team, obviously, a lot of imports and whatever. They're all loving the ABL.
We are. I tell you, I was telling him yesterday just the way we all try to bring in people from all over the world, and we put them on a field, and you got your Aussies, your Kiwis, and then you try to get these teams and get them to gel and come together. And that's the job as managers that we have to do, to get these guys to all want the same goal. And our guys, they just absolutely love it. And obviously we're spending the majority of our time in New Zealand this year instead of the 40-day road trip we had last year. But the guys are enjoying it. They're having fun. They're the culture in both New Zealand and here in Australia, they're loving it. And we love the group that we have assembled. We really do.
Yeah. Any words to the New Zealand people after the tragedies through the week?
Yeah, we've been watching it closely, and today they had the rescue thing where they actually went down and were able to take the bodies that were left, and so I think that can maybe kind of help with some closure. But we've got them on our mind, and people, and actually there were people here in Australia that were affected just as well with the tragedy that happened there. But New Zealand, just like Australia, I've got a ton of Australian back behind me in the years I've got, but New Zealand, they wrap their arms around each other, and they all pull for one another. So we're trying to do that, and as the Tuatara representing basically that whole nation. So we're glad to do it.
Okay, well hopefully the Bandits will beat you tomorrow.
No.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Ever, Steve, David, and Tim for your time. That concludes the Brisbane Bandits post-game press conference. Round 4 will conclude tomorrow, Saturday, with a doubleheader at 2:30 and 6 local time. Love to see you at the ballpark. If you can't make it, join us here on Bandits.tv.